Tucked along the winding 87-mile Cache Creek, behind the rolling hills, a tortured soul disappeared. What was he running from? Where was he going? And will he ever be found?
This is the best of the West, of all the top players in the West Coast.
On November 3rd, 1994. Wow, look at this. Paul Pierce, Chauncey Billups, Jason Terry, Rico Harris right
Yes.
there. Look how young he is.
Baby-faced.
Junior stats, 29 points, 13 and a half rebounds. Wow, the recruiting process must have been insane.
It was
wasn't it?
calls day and night. It got to the point where I would just disconnect my phone because it just got so overwhelming.
I still remember when I played against Rico Harris as a high schooler almost 20 years ago. At 6'9" with point guard skills, he was awe-inspiring. By his senior year, he was well known throughout the area. But in his hometown of Alhambra, near downtown Los Angeles, he was a legend.
No one has had as much sort of notoriety and excitement around them as Rico did. I mean, he was for sure going to go to a Division I college on a full ride and had the potential to, be in the NBA.
After high school, Harris bounced from UCLA to Arizona State, then landed at LA City College, a 2-year community college he led to the California State title. Despite offers from major schools, Harris enrolled at local Cal State Northridge, but struggled on the court as he began turning towards alcohol and drugs. He entered the NBA draft anyway, but went undrafted, and soon floated from one minor league team to another, even playing a month with the famed Harlem Globetrotters. But by 23, his career was all but over.
It was kind of like an actor who makes a really bad film. Like the offers just kind of stopped coming in.
Did he go through a state of depression?
Very much so. He was very depressed for years, where he wouldn't even watch a basketball game.
That obsession. Instead of basketball, it became drugs.
Did you know what he was using at the time?
I think he was using speed. And I think at some point, speed became meth. Sniffing Ajax when he didn't have drugs just to get that burn. I thought in my heart that there's no way that this can continue. Like this only ends two ways. He's either dead or he stops doing this.
After 8 years and more than 100 arrests, Harris entered rehab and changed his life. By 2012, after he had been completely sober for 5 years, he found love. After a 2-year long-distance relationship, Harris decided to move to Seattle and start a new life with his girlfriend.
He's told me that I'm very much in love with you and I want us to be together in the same state. I can't do this long distance anymore.
On October 9th, Harris left his mother's home in Alhambra in a black Nissan and headed towards Seattle. He wanted to arrive in time for a barbecue and later an important job interview scheduled for 2 days later. Rico Harris was leaving his demons behind and starting a new chapter.
He said that he's gonna go towards the mountains and just kind of unwind. I remember saying to him, like, no, that doesn't have cell phone service, don't go over there.
Hello, you. Hope your afternoon's going good. I had a little talk with family. Well, anyway, we'll talk soon, hopefully. All right, talk to you then. Bye.
Developing news
Rico
tonight.
Omar Harris, a former Harlem Globetrotter,
Has vanished while on a road trip to Seattle.
Found abandoned in Yolo
Harris
County.
remains unaccounted
They are hoping that
for.
anyone with information calls police.
On October 14th, Yolo County Police found Harris's car parked at a rest stop along Cache Creek Park, an area 60 miles northwest of Sacramento. His car was out of gas and the battery was dead. 2 miles further south, his backpack and phone were found, but there was no sign of Harris. Have you seen in your career of law enforcement any missing persons case quite like this one?
No.
So at this point, do you have any idea where he could be?
No.
No idea. He's essentially vanished.
He's essentially vanished.
New information tonight about the former Globetrotter who went missing. Yolo County deputies joined their search.
His car was parked right here up against these bushes. Just this last weekend, we had 10 teams of cadaver dogs in the chance that he may be up here deceased. That came up negative. In the first day we came down, we walked over here. We found his foot tracks throughout this area.
Do you think he was just unwinding? Do you think he was running away from something?
We all have our little inner challenges going, and he may come up here to escape it, and this is the perfect place.
Before Harris left LA, he had a falling out with his roommate, and friends said he was having doubts about moving in with his girlfriend. He was also still dealing with long-standing family issues.
He did mention the fact that he had started to drink again, and he was having, some difficulties navigating life.
Think he was on drugs when he was going up there?
In all likelihood, yeah.
Did you find any alcohol or drugs in the car?
There was a little bit of alcohol, not much.
Opened alcohol?
Yeah. So the backpack and the cell phone was just beyond where that little white sign is sticking up off the guardrail.
On October 19th, 5 days after Harris's car had been discovered, a new trail of size 18 sneakers were spotted just a few miles south of where his car was found. So you think likely somebody took him out of this area and then a week later brought him back?
That's correct.
And his car wouldn't have been here? You impounded his
Yeah,
car?
we took his car.
So after that week, were there any more sightings of him?
No, after the 19th, no more sightings.
Nothing?
No.
Detective Nyland felt he was likely still alive and continued his search. He checked Harris's credit cards and shared bank account, but Harris hadn't used them. If he did stay in the area looking for drugs, Nyland thought it was very likely he'd be in nearby Clear Lake, a small community known as a haven for meth addicts and distributors. I decided to drive up to Clear Lake to see if anyone could give me any information about Harris. We're looking for a missing person. Does he look familiar at all? No? No? We're looking for a missing person, Rico Harris.
He's 37 years old.
He's 37, he's 6'9", 315 pounds.
He's a big young man. I'll just put him in my prayer.
Very likely you could go down to Redbud Park.
Right.
Pastor Kelly goes down there and talks with the drunks and stuff like that.
Pastor Kelly? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just looking for Pastor Kelly.
The criminal masterminds of this town come to my house to hear about Jesus.
Is there any way he could have passed through here?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know everybody that stays here. I leave the church open.
So it's possible he could have been here?
Yes.
But you haven't seen him?
I have not.
We're kind of at a dead end with this one.
Have you checked over at Redbud Park? A lot of people hang out around there at Redbud Park.
Okay.
It does look familiar.
Does he?
Does.
Yeah.
I headed to Redbud Park, where many of the town's homeless and addicts spend their time. There I spoke to a vagrant who claims to have met Harris. We're looking for a missing dude. I'm not a cop, man. You're sure it was him?
Yes, absolutely.
And so he bought meth from your friend. So he was on meth, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. He was on something.
Do you remember the last time you saw him?
He walked towards the creek, and that thing runs fast.
You think he got caught in the creek?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
I left Northern California with more questions than answers. Rico Harris, you seen him? No?
Sure.
If he was dead, where was the body? If he was alive, why were there so few sightings? All those years ago, when I first played against Harris, I thought I was witnessing greatness. Instead, 20 years later, he simply vanished.
Every night I think, where is this guy? It's actually consumed me as a detective to not be able to answer where he's at.
I found something in the woods somewhere.
I just want him home. That's it.
When I lay my head on my pillow, I like to think that Rico is somewhere and trying to find himself again.
I dream and pray every day and every night that he does walk through the door.
Sometimes I sit and I think, how could this be my life? How could this be my son? Where's my son?